Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Quest for Truth with I'm your host, Corina Pataki. I'm so glad that you guys are here, that you're joining us. I see we have already some people from Australia. Hi, Yen. Mystifying Mark. Hello. I saw Dots here also. And I know a lot of you will jump on while we are doing the live. So, welcome to everybody now, and welcome to everybody that will watch later. I'm so thrilled, you guys, to have with us an amazing man. He has become a friend, a dear friend, and I'm thrilled to be able to introduce him to all of you amazing viewers. And let's bring in my dear friend, Marvin Atudorei. Marvin, welcome,
Hello,
welcome, welcome.
hello, Corina. I'm very glad to see you and to be in contact with your audience.
Thank you. Thank you. And Marvin is all the way from Romania. So I want to properly introduce this incredible man. So I'm going to give you guys some insight before I invite him to share a little bit about himself. So Marvin is licensed, put my glasses on, as an engineer, was licensed as an engineer in 1992. He graduated as a master in political philosophy in 2016. He graduated as a PhD in political philosophy in 2020. He is a member of the Professional Union of Journalists in Romania, and he's also president of the Non Aligned Country Forum and also vice president of the international organization, which is European Geopolitical Multipolarity Alliance. He is also a writer of many books and many articles, you guys, especially in the field of geopolitical, spirituality, and ancient history of mankind. Oh my gosh. Marvin,
Thank you for introduction, Corina.
what an amazing introduction. What an amazing, just incredible field of expertise you have, Marvin. This is really incredible. You've been such a voice of truth. And I want to let my audience know how I stumbled over you. So, you guys, about 2 years ago, I was watching Sasha Stone, for all of you that know Sasha, when he was in Romania. And I saw Sasha being interviewed by this brilliant man with the name of Marvin. And I was, number one, I was so overtaken with the way that Marvin was able to interview Sasha with Sasha's material. For those of you that know Sasha, that type of topic is not a very well known topic among the Romanian people in Romania or abroad. And the skill that Marvin had to interview Sasha with these subjects and the questions he was asking and how he was preparing the answers and the wisdom that Sasha was bringing to be palatable for the Romanians. Again, this is a lot of what Sasha said was very new to them, was absolutely incredible. Not only that, guys, but what he was doing was translating. So I'm asking Sasha in English, obviously, questions, and then translating Sasha in Romanian. And that, again, was so incredible to me because of his ability to translate, Sasha, with his vast vocabulary and all this spiritual and political things that Sasha's bringing. So I was so intrigued by it. I was absolutely in awe. And lo and behold, almost 2 years later, last April, when I got to go to Romania, Bruno, our dear friend, introduced me to Marvin. Oh my gosh. And I got a chance to meet Marvin. And I was so honored to be interviewed by him in the live studio at his one of the channels that he does journalism at. So, Marvin, I'm so glad that now it's your turn to be here live with me.
Corina. I'm very honored by your introduction. Maybe you amplified too much my, I don't know, abilities.
And he's humble.
I was very impressed of you and Sasha and all our friends that are bringing what we all now that is happening now, the awakening. Everybody becomes aware about this sociopathic clique of psychopaths, of the Illuminati guys, that they wanted to destroy our planet, to enslave us. But here, the facts that every day, more and more faster, things are happening, and we can see in United States with Donald Trump, but the echoes came here in Romania, and we have great events here every day, absolutely every day.
Yes, this is so. I mean, you guys, we have a rich show today because I would like us to talk. Before I let Marvin tell us a little bit more about his background and how he has come to this awakening in the arena that he's operating in. I would like you to know that the subject that we're discussing today is quite a deep one. Two subjects that I would like to discuss with Marvin. Number one, we are going to discuss the political atmosphere in Romania. Now, for those of you that were with us, that have been following me in our live shows that we've done and the live interviews that I've done with what has been happening in Romania. Now, let me go a little bit further back. In October this past year, Elena Danan, a beautiful sister Elena Danan, and the incredible Dr. Michael Sala joined me and my dear friends in Romania. And one of the assignments was to go to Bucegi, which we will be talking about, this Romanian Sphinx, and just kind of look and see and try to see what will open up for us. Really fast, I'm not going to get into details right now, just setting this up. The original timeline was established from Bucegi at that moment in time. And this was right before President Trump was elected. So the timeline was a green colored timeline that I saw. And green, you guys, represents go, represents abundance, represents blessings, represents new beginning, represents health. So the abundance for humanity took place, or in a sense was established or went forth from the top of the Bucegi Mountains. Now, of course, you guys, of course, Romania is such a key in this time and in the season, and the leader, the one that has been chosen from the beginning of time, and that chose to be chosen as president. Of course, since December, there was a lot of upheaval, and as you know, as you followed me, the elections were completely stopped. So we knew, however, that there is a greater voice and a greater power than these dark lunatic forces that have tried to stop. And again, I will discuss with Marvin because he really is an expert in this field. Why did they try to stop Romania from getting the right person at the top? So we will discuss that. And number two, another subject that I want to discuss with Marvin is the phenomenon of what has been now known around the world of the secrets and the laboratories that are and the tunnels that are found in Romania. Now, this information has gone abroad, it's international. So Marvin also has a say-so in that from his studies, from his knowledge. But before we jump into that, so I'm telling you guys, please share this video, share our live, like, share with your friends, and let's just come on, let's bring disclosure. Let's add the next layer and bring in disclosure today in this time and in the season. So Marvin, before we jump into these deep subjects that I mentioned, please share with us a little bit about yourself. Share with the audience a little bit about who you are, all the way back as far as you want to go.
So, thank you very much, Corina. I would start saying by when I was very young, I was fascinated by the sky, by stars. I had the feeling that I'm coming from somewhere else, that I'm seeking for something I did not know what exactly was. But I thought in the beginning that I am passionate by astronomy. Then I realized that my seeking is about philosophy and about spirituality. Then, this is very much connected with the social situation in Romania. It was during communism. You could not go very easily to study philosophy. However, philosophy was very politicized. And I made University of Technical Studies. That's why I became a so-called engineer. I made about 10 years. I worked in a company, printing company. I printed books there. We were printing books. And then I took the decision after the so-called revolution in Romania to follow my intuition and to make studies in philosophy. And I graduated master and a PhD in political philosophy. Why political? Because I understood that in our society is necessary to involve. Because if you only stay in the margin and you just comment, the society goes on and you cannot change anything. So I choose to go into the battle, and I started to write articles, books, and I noticed that the people appreciate my work. I am in contact with many embassies here in Romania. Um, I respect very much people that are saying the truth. Doesn't matter that they are Russians or Americans or something else.
Mhm.
I'm in very good relations, for instance, with people from United States. I made many TV shows with Scotty Sachs and others, with SG Anon, for instance. And I appreciate very much that they want to promote this awakening process.
Mhm.
And this is what matters most for me. So what else can I say? I'm TV producer. I invite people that are telling the truth. Um, because of this reason, me and others like me, uh, we have been hunted here in Romania. The
Yes.
authorities wanted to arrest us. They gave phone calls to us, threatening. Our friend Bruno was threatened to go to jail because why? Because we supported and we still support, of course, Călin Georgescu for presidency of Romania.
Mhm.
So we need courage here in Romania because if you say something incorrect, political, you can have big problems. But this is the only way to have courage. Other way, if we are cowards, the agenda goes on and we don't set anything.
Yes. Now, Marvin, for the viewers that are watching, they may question how can people still be threatened when speaking against a system if it's a democratic nation. But then again, we saw in America also what happened to Trump supporters, how we were marginalized and so on and so forth. But Romania's worse. So why is that? Because isn't Romania supposed to be a democratic nation? Why is it happening? Why are these things happening?
Well, this syntax that Romania is a democratic nation is like a joke because I'm going to tell you a short background about Romania. So until 1989, we were a socialist country ruled by Nicolae Ceausescu. He was a very tough guy. He had the courage to oppose to Soviet Union, and we were in the sphere of influence of Soviet Union. And he demanded justice not only for Romania but for all the countries around. For
Mhm.
instance, in 1968, Soviet Union invaded Czechoslovakia, and Nicolae Ceausescu stand up and said, "We are against these imperialistic tendencies." So he attracted the sympathy of the West. The Queen of England, the President of the United States, they invited him there. He was the only one invited in many, many decades from Romania, and he gained to rise Romania very much from all points of view, economic, industrial, cultural. with everything, even with sport and some others.
Mhm.
But there was a problem. The security was captured by secret services from other countries, especially from Soviet Union, KGB,
Mhm.
but also from Israel and
Mhm.
some other countries, and from United States CIA.
Mhm.
And they killed him, Nicolae Ceausescu, and it was a coup d'etat in December 1989. After that, Romania entered on a path of losing sovereignty, industrial complex, economic, everything.
Mhm.
Education, agriculture, we lost almost everything. They stolen our resources. Even people, the best people in Romania, were attracted in other countries,
Yes.
and this goes on for 35 years. But this year, I mean last year, in December, we had the presidential elections, and for the first time in 35 years, a sovereign candidate, a patriot,
Mhm.
a very smart guy who worked for international organizations like UN, like Club of Rome, but he left from these organizations because he understood that they follow an agenda, an
Yep.
globalist agenda, and they want to enslave humanity, to steal the resources of the countries. And when he was completely sure about this, he gave up. And since then, there are about, I don't know, 10 years, he started to promote sovereignty, nationalism, and independence of
Mhm.
Romania.
Mhm.
And now he entered in this presidential race, and he won. He won absolutely fantastic. All the people in Romania love him now.
Yeah.
He has a rate of approval of, I think, more than 85%.
Wow. Wow.
So,
Wow. Wow. Marvin,
you know,
really,
this
Marvin,
is,
hold on a sec. I want to let the people know this. So,
yes,
Mr. Kalin Georgescu, when he left the UN, you guys can, an amazing man, you guys can check it out. He actually became a whistleblower against the atrocities that were done in the UN. And I'm talking about anything from the money that they're taking, the corruption, all the way to child trafficking, to the, sex trafficking of the children. I mean, he blew the whistle and blew the top open. There's actually even a documentary that was made with him blowing the whistle. So as you can imagine, the dark forces did not, hello, like with Trump the first time, did not even think that he was a threat as far as becoming the president of this very key nation that they were grabbing a hold of. And when they saw that he had all these votes, Marvin, jump in and continue. What happened?
yes, regarding what you said, it is indeed very important.
Yes.
So, Călin Georgescu made an interview with a lawyer, Rainer Fülmi from Germany. Rainer Fülmi, maybe many of you know, he was very vocal during the so-called pandemic.
Yes.
I use this expression because it wasn't a pandemic; it was something planned, an agenda set up, and they made a documentary called "The Dark Secrets of UN." And in this interview, Călin Georgescu um, presented in a very magistral mode that the elite, the so-called elite of the world, are actually pedophiles,
Yes.
and they are making child traffic and human traffic generally, and they are part of some secret occult organizations. And also, he said that the so-called head of the snake is the financial banking system. That Federal Reserve in the United States is printing money from 1973, and the dollars had no cover in physical assets, And that's why it was a revolution. Nobody in Romania dared to say things like this.
Yeah.
And he has an amazing courage, and exactly
Yes.
that's why people love him,
Yes.
because
Yes.
he finally say what all of us we know, but it was
Yes.
like a conspiracy theory.
Yes. Yes.
So
But he was
yeah, this
he.
is what I want to add. It
Yeah.
is for the first time in last 35 years when the people is united
Yes.
because we have a leader. Until now, we did not have any chance what to choose in elections because there are only the candidates of the system. No,
Hmm.
no one was good enough.
Yeah, and for him, you guys that are watching or will be watching later, you have to understand the risk this man took. Having a family, he literally put a like a bull's mark on his back. Just talk about a light worker. Talk about somebody just like Trump. Talk about somebody that knows their blueprint, that knows their identity and knows their blueprint and decides to walk that out. Bold, fearless, determined, that no matter what, this is my blueprint, this is what I've chosen, and this is what I'm going to do. I mean, just Marvin, that to me is so incredible at the boldness and the assurance that this man, Mr. Călin Georgescu, has in who he is, in his identity and his mission, his blueprint is incredible.
Indeed. And I would like to offer you some information. I'm not going to enter in too much details, but I think it's important. When they annulled the electoral process, they pretended, when I say they, I mean the establishment in
Yes,
Romania, but we can call it a kind of deep state in here in Romania, which is very much connected with the deep state in United States and
yes,
with the leaders of the European Union, like Ursula von der Leyen, that, as you all see these days, they still want to continue the war in Ukraine.
yep,
Even Donald Trump said, we want peace. Putin said, we want peace. They continue to say, no, we want war with Russia. So they are crazy. And they pretended that they have to annul the elections because
yep,
the platform of elections was subjected to a huge attack from Russian Federation. They claimed it was 84,000 attacks, cyber attacks from Russian Federation, and we all asked for proofs, and they made ședință,
meeting
they
again.
a meeting, and with the Supreme Council of Defending the Country. It was a very pretentious name, and they said, yes, we have proofs, but we cannot show to the people because everything is secret. And this is against the rules because you cannot take a judicial decision without showing the proofs,
Wow, wow.
the evidence. And they did not show. And it was the Commission of Venice,
Hmm.
and this is a very important judicial forum in Europe. And they said, no, you have to show the proofs. The democratic process has to be transparent, not with classified information. And they pretend that they did not hear what the Venice Commission said. So they are so evil. And from deep state in United States, Anthony Blinken, he said a few days after the annulment of electoral process in Romania that yes, we agree very much that Russian interference is the same with what it was in America with Trump,
Yep,
with Russians,
yep,
and the European Union the same. They said yes, we are very much agreed with what the Constitutional Court in Romania, the higher forum in judicial forum in Romania, they did. So. Another aspect, Thierry Breton, an ex-commissar from European Union, he made a blow-minded declaration, assertion. He said, yes, we did it in Romania, and if it is necessary, we'll have to do it in Germany as well. So
yes,
we
yeah,
canceled, elections in Romania, but there's no problem. We are going to do the same for Germany and for every other country that is not in our line,
Yes.
does not follow our agenda. So these people, they don't damn, how can I express, they cannot pay attention to democracy, to real democracy.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn about democracies.
Yeah.
And Venice Commission, they said that you need Romanians to have transparency in the electoral process, and you have to show the proofs, and you cannot violate the legal procedures. So, in a very short presentation, this is a situation in Romania. And I told you, every day are happening important events because GD Vance had a few days ago a speech in Germany, I think, in
Yes.
Europe, and he said, "Look, you in Europe, you don't have free speech anymore because, for instance, in Great Britain, if someone says something against what is politically correct, you are going with police at his door and you arrest him. This is not democracy. It's not free speech." And he also underlined the situation of Romania, and he said it is not possible to cancel elections in Romania.
Yes.
And he said it not only once. And not only G.D. Vance, but also Elon Musk.
Yep.
He said many times that Romania deserved to be sovereign country, exactly regarding this annulment of elections in Romania, and also uh, how the special envoy of President Trump for Europe, Richard, I forgot his
I don't
name.
remember his last name, but yes, he also mentioned the same thing. He also said the same thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Richard Greenland, something like this.
Yes. Yes. Before we, because I want to make a parallel with what has been
Sorry, Richard Grenell. Richard
right now.
Grenell.
Yes. 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 Um, for our beautiful audience, please share this and get your questions ready. And if you have questions, just comment, put them in your comments, and then we will try to answer them. But now, Marvin, um, let's kind of go parallel to the other truth that has been discovered in Romania, because I think there is definitely a parallel between the dark forces, the deep state, and the powers that are ruling at the head, and the discoveries that have been found in Romania. It's like they want to grab a hold of a Romania because of what Romania carries for many reasons. But one of the reasons is because of what the Pentagon discovered when they put their satellite over the mountains of Romania, and particularly Bucegi. Now, you have some insight in that. So let's just kind of, because I want our audience to see the parallels. Yes, we're talking about the political atmosphere, but there's a reasoning behind it, guys. And one of the reasoning is that they do not want the true history of humanity, of our awakening and our ascension, our realization of who we truly are and the power that is within us. They do not want us to know that. The weaker we feel, the more less out of control we feel, the more they can control us, the more they can tell us what to do, when to do it, how to do it, how high to jump, how to act. And the discoveries that were made in Romania, Marvin, in 2003, has a lot to do with what's happening, or a big part, what's happening right now in Romania. Why is there such a fight over this little nation, powerful nation? So let's jump to 2003. Go ahead.
So, in a very short, in few words, what happened actually in 2002. In 2003, it was another step. But in 2002, the Pentagon was running several military and geodesic programs, and they used satellites that spot on a certain structure located inside Bucegi Mountains.
Mhm.
So this satellite scanning revealed two major energetic blocks inside the mountain, and the blocks were clearly made of artificial energy. So it was a tunnel, a very strange tunnel in an angle of 26 degrees inside the mountain that apparently had no entrance
Mm.
at neither ends. But actually, there were some entrances, but blocked with stone and energetic portal.
Mhm.
So it was one of the blocks, energetic block, was connected to a wall that blocked the access to the tunnel, and the second tunnel was even much more huge and goes to a chamber that was, I can tell you, 100 meters long and 30 meters um, high,
Fine.
and in the in that room so big, they found. I have some synthesis here, but it's in
Mhm.
Romanian. They found some consoles, console,
Mhm.
that
Consoles? Yes. Mhm.
panels, yes,
Yes.
that have the symbols like cuneiform symbols, very very simplified but essentialized, and it was a center of command for all Earth, all the planet.
Wow.
So maybe these words can be too much for our audience. Maybe they will consider that this is some exaggeration, but this is exactly the reason why Romania is so much targeted
Yes.
by Illuminati. And I can show you. I have a study that shows that Romania is the country with the biggest percentage of agent on capita, on population. Even bigger this percentage from for comparing with the United States or with every other country in the world,
The bigger,
because
say
they know
it again, Marvin. Romania has the biggest, say it again,
the biggest concentration of agents
of
percentage. I mean,
ages.
for instance, at 1,000 people in Romania, there are, let's say, 60 agents. In United States, there are 30 agents. Of
Agents.
course, agents. I mean, members of secret services.
Got it. Did you guys get that?
Yes,
Agents, members of the Secret Service. Okay, go ahead, Marvin.
and if I can come back to this discovery in Bucegi, um, it was this technical possibility to project holograms with all the past of the Earth for thousands of years,
The history.
not only in Romania, but history, not only in Romania, but worldwide. You can choose what you want to see, and it is like a kind of archive.
Mhm.
It's absolutely amazing. Everything, of course, became securized. I mean, the army blocked access there. There are helicopters. I myself was on that area, and it was some guards telling me that you have no access. You have to go. It is a protected area.
Was this the
They, of course,
American? Was this the American? After they put the satellite, their satellite over, and they noticed what they noticed, then the Americans came in, right?
yes, of course. So. This center in Bucegi is connected with an alien civilization,
Mhm.
and not only alien, because here on Earth we have a very advanced civilization, but they don't show to the public. They have another vibration, another level of consciousness. Some of them are in etheric dimension, or and some of them are below in the center of the Earth. there are huge places inside Earth, and some others um, are projections for Shambhala. Shambhala is the command center of Earth, but during the cycles, this council of wise men was depends on a cycle. When the cycle is very high as vibration, like in Satya Yuga, they manifest themselves. They have a physical projection if they want, because if they don't want, they suddenly go into etheric dimension.
So they appear.
But
If the vibration
yes,
is, then they appear. Okay.
yes, they had a projection in Romania. Then they moved in Tibet, and they in the next Satya Yuga, the cycle of light and truth and love, they will come again. Some texts say again in Romania. And look, I think I need to tell a few more things about Romania,
Yes.
because if we cut this information by the rest of things that are already known about Romania, this could be something very and too enthusiastic. I mean, science fiction almost. So, if you
Go
allow
for
me,
it.
Corina, I
Yes.
want to
Yes, please.
present a video with Michal Ledwit,
Yes.
and I'm going to tell you who is Michal Ledwit. Just a sec. I hope the video will work.
Yes.
So Michal Ledwit was the president. Okay, let me translate.
Great ice age in Europe, which would have,
No, okay,
after the
No, no,
last
go ahead.
great ice age in Europe, which would have, I suppose, ended around 15,000 BC, not 100, 15,000 BC, the ice sheets began to recede. And as you probably know, in Bulgaria and your own country, Romania, slightly to the north of it, that the real ice age in its fullness didn't impact that region of the Balkans. And as the ice sheets began to recede, which had depopulated, of course, the whole of Northern Europe, the language that was spoken in your area, what's now Romania and Bulgaria, and across horizontally to into Turkey and into Mesopotamia, that language began to follow the retreat of the ice sheets, both north and south. And that is when the roots of what later became Latin came from Romania into Italy and into all these other places.
Okay, so this video is very important because present a situation certified by scientific studies, and it is said that it was a glacier in 150,000 years ago, and this glacier was called Wurm, and this glacier stopped in 15,000 years ago. And after this glacier melted, the population that was in this area, all the Europe was covered with ice. Germany, Great Britain, everything. And this glacier also was on the north of Africa and a part of Asia. And the Carpathian Mountains was not covered with ice. And that's why here had the chance to develop a civilization.
Yeah.
And there is something else.
Yes.
Edgar Cayce, with everybody knows he was a clairvoyant, and he entered in mediumic trance, and he was in contact with information that could be verified afterwards and confirmed. And he said that when Atlantis sunk, it was a branch of the civilization of Atlantis that they knew what is going to happen, and they left Atlantis before sunk, and they went in so-called Hyperborea. Hyperborea was the name of Dacia, Thracia, depends on epoch.
Oh, okay.
And
I did not know that. I did not know that. Hyperborea
yes,
was the name of, okay. Tracia.
Hyperborea was Hyperborea means the wind of the north, and and here it was a very high advanced civilization, and I'm going to give you some details.
Hmm.
But they helped Atlantis. They made a kind of symbiosis with the civilization of Hyperborea, and they started to build some amazing stuff, pyramids, and they left in Egypt. They made the Egyptian pyramids, and they left in India. I'm going to show you in a moment. It is a scientific study made by University of Cambridge
Yes.
that they said in a text called the secret no the ancient history of India, the ancient history of India in 1929, and they wrote that actually the Vedic civilization is not from India, came from another part. And they made research starting from the text of Veda, because in this text is written about bear, about trees, about
Hmm.
fauna, flora, that is not in India.
Yeah.
And they managed to realize that the area from the Vedic civilization is coming is Carpathians. So exactly this area where the Atlantis came and where it wasn't covered by ice.
Wow.
So that's why when the glacial melt, they spread in India, in China. They made pyramids in China too. The government of China admitted that their ancestors are not from that land,
Wow.
and they went in Greece, in Denmark, in Germany, in Great Britain. Well, I realized that this information could seem to be too much, too fantastic, but we have proofs.
Yes.
And I'm going to show you now. I hope the technical possibility admit for me to do this. So just a moment.
You guys, please share this video as you're watching. And again, get your questions ready, that we're going to try to answer them in this show, this live show.
So I think you cannot see what I want to share. It is the cover of the Cambridge History of India,
I see it
ancient
on
India.
my end. I see it on
You,
my end.
you
Karen,
can you can see it.
on my, there you go.
Oh, perfect, excellent, very good. So this is the cover, and I can tell you that I can tell you exactly the page where you can find the text that I want to present for you. Uh, it's in volume one because there are 6 volumes at page 68, and there is a delimitation. I can also show you the
So anybody can get this book. Anybody can research into this book. This is the scientific proof that Marvin is referring to.
yes, and he's at page 68. You can see in the right part of the image.
Mm-hmm.
On the bottom of the page, it's marked with red,
Mm-hmm.
and we can read exactly the area because it's Carpathians on the south. The image is too small for me now. However, it's exactly the area of what we are talking about. Maybe we
You
can
can start
increase.
it. Yeah, over there.
So yes,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
By
there are
the
apparently only one such area in Europe, the area which is bounded on the eastern side by Carpathians, on its south by Balkans, on the western side by Austrian Alps, and the Bumerwald Metallifer Mountains in the north. And you see, they are telling that which is linked with the Carpathians.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is a very important information that is made by the University of Cambridge in 1922. You can see it in the left
Yes.
here. And another information I hope you can see, Maria Gimbutas was sent by University of California in 1973. He went through all Europe and he made archaeological researches, and he found only in this area of Carpathians ancient artifacts
Mm-hmm.
and very advanced artifacts. In other parts of the Europe, she couldn't find anything so old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And here you can see the area, Aryavarta is called by the Vedics,
Mm-hmm.
close to Black Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some indicators how is bounded and where they left. For instance, is way to India. And this trip, not trip, this expedition to India was described in Mahabharata, in Ramayana and Mahabharata. It is exactly Ramayana. Ramayana was the leader of this group that left from Carpathians and went to India. Rama was the leader of the Kshatriya, the warriors.
Wow.
Okay. Yes, this is another image with the spreading of the civilization of Carpathians to all Europe and India and China. And
Yeah.
here is another important thing. Under the Sarmizegetusa,
Yeah.
according to scanning made by Russians and BBC and Great Britain, BBC made a show with these discoveries. So under the Sarmizegetusa, there is buried a city as large as Bucharest. Bucharest is the capital of Romania. So it is absolutely huge.
And
It's
this is where they blocked.
200 kilometers square.
And
So the Mount is Orăștie. This is the name of the Mount is Orăștie. Was made in terrasați. I don't know how to say in English.
layers, is that what you mean?
Yes, in layers, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And there are scientific proofs with satellites. Here they found under Sarmizegetusa pipelines, and they are perfectly matched, and they are made in an industrial mode, not like an artisan who made a single piece. It is like an industry to make pipelines, and they are from ceramic, not primitive materials. They are very performant. They lasted until today, and they have more than 7,000 years. So these are evidence, physical evidences.
Yes.
Then they found a citadel 4 times bigger than Troia in Romania, near Arad.
Then Troy.
So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
from compared with Troy.
Yes.
So this citadel was made 3 or 4 thousand years ago. So it's older than Troy and bigger, 4 times bigger.
Wow.
This is another image, and they are telling that the Troia of Romania, Arad, it is a locality called Santana, and it was one of the biggest citadels of Bronze epoch in Europe.
Wow.
And here is another very interesting information. They found in Sarmizegetusa and in other parts nails that does not rust. So the iron of this nail is so pure that have no oxide. And when a metal is rusting is because it has some impurities, some oxides that go to oxide. And this iron is so pure that we cannot do it our days. And they sent this kind of nails, but not only nails, even biggest very big artifacts of 40 kilograms.
Wow.
Nowhere in the world they did not find something like this. And these pieces does not rust, are from pure iron. Even today, they don't rust. And they send these materials to some prestigious laboratories in the world. And you can see here a spectrogram.
Mm,
They analyzed the composition of this iron and they were amazed how pure this iron can be.
wow.
This is, of course, the Sphinx of Bucegi,
Hmm.
and under the Sphinx, it is this complex of Bucegi that we spoke
Yes.
before. And only a few words about this. This is a comparison made by a scientist in Romania who wrote a book, Dacia, the God's Land.
Oh, yes.
Deci, Nicolae Niolescu, Dacia Țara Zeilor.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
The land of the
you can
gods.
see,
Mm.
yes, you can see in this table, tabel, I don't know how to say in English, comparison between the form of the words in Romanian and the form in Sanskrit. For instance, in for home, you say in Romanian acasă. In Sanskrit, you say akash. Albina, albini. Um, apă, apas. And there are many, many examples, hundreds of examples that are much beyond coincidence,
Hmm.
because there are so many words that are almost similar, that almost identically
With
between
Sanskrit.
Romanian and Sanskrit, that proves that the Vedic civilization come from this civilization in Carpathians. And another thing very important,
Hmm.
as you saw in the video that we showed a few minutes ago, Micha Ledwith explained that the language spoken by Romanians is the ancestor of the Latin. But in the official version, they say um, in the other way, that Romanian language comes from Latin. This is a lie. This is not true.
Hmm.
And we can prove. In Romanian, you can find some so-called roots, radicals
Hmm.
of the language. I
Hmm.
mean, what means radicals? It is the basic form where you can form further on the words.
Yes.
For instance, you can say in Romania for fire, you say foc.
Hmm.
In Catalan, in Spanish, foc. In Occitan, foc. In Latin, foc or focus. In English, fire. In French, feu.
Hmm.
So in Romanian, it is the only language in Europe where the words are derived for these radicals. In other languages, it is not the same. So no, we saw this video, so I will. I ended the presentation of images. I wanted to offer you a perspective
Hmm.
because it's not like suddenly they found something in Carpathians. Because in Bucegi, the explanation is because here it was with more than 10,000 years ago and much more, a very advanced civilization. A branch of this civilization came from Atlantis, and another branch was from here because it wasn't covered by ice. And I told you it is not just an historical perspective because it is also some technical stuff.
Hmm.
You saw the nails, you saw
Yes.
the pipelines, you saw the underground tunnels and cities in Romania. So um, I think it's useful to know this information.
Oh, it is. It's very, very important. So, Marvin, then with all this information that we know that the elite know about, and also when again the Pentagon put their satellite over Romania, over that specific area, and then they came. Let the people know also when they came and how Romania got into the EU. Why did Romania get into the EU? That information. So because all of a sudden Romania was, kind of taken in. Present us with the information that you have regarding all of
Yes.
these things.
So it is useful to know that after the Second World War, um, it was a plan, an agenda made by the globalists,
Hmm.
because the globalists did not start to act a few decades ago.
Yes.
They act for more than 200 years, and they made revolutions, French Revolution in Great Britain, and Bolshevik Revolution. And after the Second World War, they started to create some organizations with the biggest cover in the world. For
Hmm.
instance, UN is
Yes.
made through this agenda, European Union, NATO, World Trade Organization, Bank of International Settlements, Federal Reserve Bank. So all the relevant international organizations were made by this globalists, and even NASA
Yeah.
was made with German scientists. Paper
Hmm.
clip file. And European Union was created by orders of CIA, and uh, the first leaders was from Nazi organizations. There are proofs. I mean, I'm not talking stories here.
Yeah.
We can present with names and photos,
Yeah.
with files. And their purpose was to control Europe. The Marshall Plan, made after the Second World War, that is presented as an altruist act made by the authorities in the United States, was actually a plan to control Europe. And in the beginning, as you very well know, they made this community of steel and carbone, cum se zice,
Cold.
coal
Mm.
and steel.
Cold. Hmm.
And they afterwards they made some others topics of this organization with political and financial, and now they want to create kind of federal state, European Union to be a federal state with its own army, with its own bank, and so on and so forth, without sovereignty of the countries. Regardless that in the treaties of forming European Union, the countries entered by signing a treaty that guarantee that the country is sovereign. But no, they want to cancel the sovereignty of the countries. And how Romania entered in the European Union and in NATO also,
Yeah.
because after the coup d'etat in 1989 that we spoken in the
Yes.
beginning,
Yes.
the leaders of Romania were captured by these Sorosist organizations, and they did not act in the benefit of the Romanian people. They act in the benefit of these globalist organizations, and they put Romania in European Union and NATO by ceding some territories of Romania to Ukraine.
Yes.
There are important parts of Romania that now are part of Ukrainian, and our people, Romanian people there, were sent to fight against Russians. They did not allow them to speak in Romanian, to have churches, to have schools in Romania. So this is a tragedy,
Mm.
and this is the explanation how Romania entered in the European Union and NATO.
Wow. Very interesting. Marvin, let's go along the line before we switch into Călin Georgescu and what's happening in the political arena. Um, Can you share with our audience that maybe have never heard? I know a lot of people around the world have already heard of the Transylvania book series or other books that describe what they found in there, because I want our audience to get an even more clear perspective of the hidden truths and discoveries that were found in the country and why there's such a fight over the country, including with everything you've presented up to this point. what other that you are aware of discoveries have been found? I know there's tunnels that connect to Egypt, and then I'll have a second question for you after this. So share with our audience what else you know about these
Yes.
amazing discoveries.
So there is another extremely important aspect, which is written in a book called The Secret Pergament.
Yes.
And in this book, the author, Radu Cinamar, who is, of course, a pseudonym,
Yes.
we spoke about this when you came in Romania.
Yes.
And the author explained that in Romania there is a kind of natural filon. How do you say? Just a
What
second.
is it? Natural.
Filon. It's exactly the same. Of gold. So there are some mountains here in Romania that literally produce gold. And that's why all the great powers of the world are very, very interested to
Mm.
take control of Romania. Not only in Roșia Montana, we have in Transylvania area,
Region.
which are very important gold mines, but there there are minereu. Maybe you can help me with translation.
What is it?
Minereu,
I don't know.
minereu. I will tell you. Ore.
Cherry?
So
What?
it's a conglomerate called ore.
Okay.
Yes, and in Roșia Montana, it is this conglomerate. I mean, the gold is mixed with some other, with earth and some others.
Uh-huh.
And you need a process to elaborate to obtain pure gold. But there are areas where the gold is almost pure, 100% pure. And this is absolutely astonishing. And they found here in Romania this kind of mines. And it is kept secret because if uh, some information will be made public, it is a
Yes.
case of war. I mean, they will find a reason to attack Romania.
So the monatomic gold, that's what you are talking about? The monatomic gold.
Yes, this is another subject,
Mhm.
but that's why Romania is such an important place. The Sphinx also is considered a very important portal. It is in a place of axis mundi. I mean, it is connected with the Sahasrara energetical center of the Earth. Because there is a correspondence between the holographic theory.
Yeah.
What is big is in other size, but the same with what is small.
Mhm.
Hermes Trismegistus had spoke about this.
Mhm.
What is above is what is
Yes.
below.
Yes. Yes.
There is a perfect correspondence between micro and macro, and the Sphinx area is the Sahasrara chakra of the planet, and that's why it is a portal to God, to very high dimensions.
Mhm.
And there are some portals here in Romania to Shambhala and to other worlds, and they want to control these gates. You
Yes.
know, they made some scientific experiments in order to connect humanity with bad
Yes.
realms,
Yes.
with infernus, with
Yes.
diabolic, satanic dimensions, and that's why they made that experiments at CERN with Gotthard Tunnel. You saw the rituals
Yep.
with
Yep.
so-called yeah, and this is absolutely improper
Yeah.
for a scientific technology to make this kind of rituals. It is something else there.
Yeah.
And all the elites of public scene was there. Macron, Merkel,
Yes. Yeah.
and many others. Why? for a scientific experiment, because they open a portal with infernal realms, and
Mhm.
all these so-called leaders are part of Illuminati agenda and Loja, Masonic,
Yeah.
and so on. Bilderberg, Davos,
Yes.
Council of Foreign Relations, and so on. Doesn't matter how we call them. It is obvious that they have a dark agenda for humanity.
Marvin, speaking of the cities, inner earth, in my memories, as my memories came over the last 2 years, I remember and I saw being taken to an inner earth city. I went through the mountains. I went through the mountain and I came out of a cave, and the walls of the cave was like the black crystal. I can't remember the name of it. If you guys can put it in the comments, onyx, I think. I'm not sure. Don't remember. So as I came out of that cave, I came on a sandy beach, but the beach was black. This crystal, this black crystal, but now was powder, very very soft powder. So that's what the sand looked like. And as I came out, it was a cove, and I was overlooking an ocean, and up here on the cliffs, up on the cliffs, I can see the city. So that's, I was taken somewhere, and I was they did some repairs on me on the back of my head and stuff like that. So I remember going and visiting these places. My memories came back as a child. Now I want to ask, and I'm not sure if you are okay with speaking on this, and if you're not, we'll shift directions. Um, because in America, in the US, there has been the department that has utilized the gifts of these children. MK Ultra, they utilize it for bad. They were not there to help encourage and mentor these kids in more loving atmosphere, or caring for them. And we know that this was the CIA that were doing these things, horrific things. Now, in Romania, because of my experiences in Romania, was there a department that was the opposite of the CIA, meaning that they did take care of these children with these abilities, like such as Department Zero? Can you mention Department Zero? Can you talk about Department Zero?
So, if you refer to Zero Department,
Yes.
yes, I have some information about this. I'm in contact with generals from secret services, and they told me that this department really exists.
Mhm.
I met one of these high-ranking officers even yesterday. He's specialized with healings, with finding objects, and many others. In Romania, we need to organize ourselves in structures,
Mhm.
and these militaries already took the part of the patriotic side. So they don't offer too much information. They, of course, are working with paranormal,
Mhm.
with the children.
Mhm.
They are connected with some secret services from other
Yes.
countries. I wrote an article about this. The title, but it's only in Romania. We are going to a shift of consciousness of mankind. This is the title.
Mhm.
And I wrote there about children with paranormal abilities
Mhm.
in China, in Romania,
Yes.
in United States. Um, I gathered
Mhm.
information because there are really extremely important things.
Yes, they are.
Is connected with the so-called indigo children that
Yes.
came to Earth during 80s, starting with 80s, and they have paranormal abilities absolutely amazing. Why? Because the humanity is entering in another cycle. It
Yes.
is this process that we spoke before of
Mhm.
awakening,
Yes.
and these entities, these spirits, are coming here, like yourself, Corina,
Mhm.
in order to help humanity to raise the level of
Mhm.
consciousness.
Mhm.
And they cannot be defeated
Yeah.
because they are helped by angels and
Yeah.
by God Himself.
Very true. Very, very, very
Yes.
true. Now, along those lines, Marvin, my other part to that question is, if there is such a department, zero department, or in English you would put department zero, then was there in Romania during early 70s, end of 60s, early 70s, a branch of the CIA that was not operating out of the good or not operating out of the light to get children and try to break their abilities open, to utilize them for their purposes, which had nothing to do with the light? Do you know of the CIA or any branch of that that would have crossed over into Romania to do what they've done in America to the children?
Definitely, they had this kind of missions because I don't know if I entered in details before. Maybe I'm sure not too much, but Ceausescu was betrayed
Mhm,
by secret services,
mhm,
and I told you, I remember this, that there was the involvement of KGB, Mossad, and CIA and others. And their agenda, of course, was very secret,
mhm,
but it is obvious that they followed all the main points
mhm.
um, of defense of a country, security of a country.
Right.
And a very important point was this with the paranormal. You
Mhm,
know, here in Romania, we had a very important activity during 90s years after the so-called revolution.
mhm,
And on TV shows, there were offered the information very important. For instance, it was a researcher, Vasile Rudan,
mhm,
and another one, Marioara Godeanu, and they spoke about the pyramids in Romania, about alien bases, and they had proofs. And connected with this, sorry if I jump to another
you're
subject,
good. Good.
Corina, but they found in 1973 artifact uh, called Călcâiul din Aiud.
The ankle,
Maybe you can.
the ankle of Ayud. What is Ayud?
Aiud is a village in
Okay,
Romania.
so it's called in English. It'd be the ankle of Ayud, which is this particular village. Go ahead.
Okay, and this artifact was 20 centimeters large and was obviously artificial, but the main component was aluminium. But it had such big oxide of aluminium that the laboratories study showed that it is 250,000 years. And the aluminium in our modern civilization was discovered in the midst of the 19th century.
Wow.
So this object has 250,000 years. And the artifact is part of a larger um, piece. Probably it was the sabot of the spaceship,
Mm,
and because it was pretty not heavy, the opposite, um, ușor,
yeah.
and
Hmm.
maybe that spaceship lost this sabot
Yes.
that was buried in the earth
Hmm.
because they found it accidentally. Some workers were digging there and they suddenly found this amazing thing. So this is the past of Romania, and of course, secret services. I'm coming back with what you say. They they wanted to cover all this evidence. For
Yeah.
instance, when Eric von Dani came, I think you heard about him.
Yes.
He came in Romania to make some photos of this object,
Hmm.
and the secret services did not allow him. They took out the object from museums and they say we are making some
Yeah.
technical revision. We cannot show it now, but they never show him. But there are photos. I mean,
Yes.
it is obvious this exists. So
Wow.
they want to keep everything secret. And one more thing, if you allow me,
Yes.
about the official history of Romania. They cover everything.
Right.
They are telling us that the Romanian people is formed 150 years ago. So our history, they pretend, is 150 years. When some tribes joined together and they formed the Romanian nation. But this is absolutely stupid
Yeah.
because there are scientific studies. They made analysis of our DNA, and is exactly the same with the DNA of Dacians, of Thracians, of Getians, and we have a continuity in our genome,
Mm-hmm.
and our traces in history and time goes back to more than 10,000 years. And they say that we were invaded by Romans
Mm-hmm.
in 150 after Christ.
Right.
And they conquered us, they say, and that's why the Dacians forgot their language. This is absurd.
Yeah.
In 100 years, no nation forgot their language.
Yes.
And especially because they occupied only a tiny part of Dacia, 14%.
Wow.
14%. The rest of Dacia remained free. How Dacians and Jatians could forget their language if they were described, or many historians worldwide, as the biggest warrior. I mean,
Yeah.
and I can offer you few names: Socrate, Homer, Pythagoras, Platon, Jordanes,
Mm-hmm.
Cavasius, Clement, Carol Lundius, Maria Gimbutas, Carlo Troia, Alfred Hoffman, Mitchell Ledwith, Daniel Russo, Harold Hartman, Marco Merlini, John Muller, Paul McKendrick, Colin Renfrew,
Wow.
and Clive Bonsall, and many others. They all said, and I have quotes, they said that the Dacians, the Thracians, was the most heroic civilization that we know.
Yes.
And how could they be conquered by Romans when they conquer only 14%,
Yeah.
and the rest of the nations remain free? So
Yeah.
they want to cut our roots,
Mm-hmm.
to cut our national consciousness, in order to let us not know
Mm-hmm.
who we are.
Mm-hmm.
But
But this is
they
what
did not succeed.
and this is what they've done, you guys, as we're talking about this in this episode. The things that I wanted to highlight by having Marvin here, this is what they've done for humanity. That's why, again, they are trying to grasp and choke Romania, if you will, if you look at it as a being, because of the secrets that she holds within her bosom, the secrets for not only Romanians but the secrets of humanity that must come out. And hear me, they will come out. But at the same time, a lot of us that are bound in religious dogma is going to shake you to the very core. That's why I encourage all of you that are watching, as I've done for years now, to choose to go on your quest for truth and allow everything that's based on fear, manipulation, control to fall to the ground. Let everything that must be shaken, let it shake. And if control, manipulation, fear must fall, do not hold on to it. Because unfortunately, the religious dogma, this is exactly what they've done. And the evil ones have utilized it to keep you bound, to keep you bound in a limitation, to keep you bound in fear, to keep you bound in a lack, in an amnesia, in a spiritual amnesia. So the same thing on a larger scale, you guys. This is why Romania is so important for this time in the season and a key, because what she carries within her bosom, she carries a secret that will come out, the true history, part of the true history of humanity, part of the true, let me say it again, part of the true history of humanity. That's why Romania is, there's such a fight for her voice. There's such a fight for her blueprint to be walked, to be manifested, because it is connected to the entire history of humanity, you guys. So again, why is it important for you to know about these things about Romania? Because Romania right now is on the scene. Romania right now has stepped on this beautiful platform, this beautiful theatrical scene, and she must play her part. She must play her part. So I encourage all of you beautiful light workers, all of you that connect to Father, to Mother, all of you that connect, that go within and utilize your power, to utilize your power right now of focusing over Romania, that the fullness of her beautiful blueprint, it's time for her to play her part now, to walk her blueprint. So that's why I encourage every single one of you watching. You can be Romanian, from Romania, Romania outside of non-Romania. You can be Indian, American, Chinese. It does not matter. If you are a light worker, please, I encourage you, join us as we are focusing on this huge step that Romania is taking in right now. And let's go right now to this political scene. But before we do that, just really quickly, because I heard Karen telling me, she messaged me, she said, Corina, make sure you talk about the extraterrestrials. I know you touched on it a little bit. There have definitely been extraterrestrial on the land of Romania. Even the laboratory in Bucegi under the Sphinx was, and as we went with Elena this past October, and you were there, Marvin, it was a laboratory that the technology there is 50,000 years old at least. So obviously there's other beings, other worldly beings, extraterrestrials. They're not of the earth. They're celestial, that are from different dimensions or different planets and star systems that have been in Romania. Is that the case, Marvin? Before we jump into Călin Georgescu.
Yes, and I would like to add something regarding these extraterrestrial beings in Romania. As I told you before, humanity is actually ruled by council of wise people that are not showing themselves to the public, and they are called Shambhala. Shambhala, they are, and they have a very interesting history, and maybe not everybody knows that their history is written in some Tibetan texts called Kanjur and Tanjur. Kanjur and Tanjur. And there are 300 volumes that were translated from Tibetan in Hungarian, and it was a man from Hungary that he had access there, because they don't allow anyone to enter. And he translated 300 volumes, and in these volumes is written that the ancestors of Shambhala, they came from stars. They are celestial leaders. They came to Earth. And some of them remained here to guide humanity through cycles, through time. And in every cycle, when humanity is in danger, they intervene. And there are observations that they managed to stop some nuclear deflagrations, to block some launches of rockets.
Yes.
Okay. And they inspire humanity. They have a lot of roles and responsibilities. And they were in this area of Romania. Then they went in other places in Tibet. Now they are in etheric dimension, and they are going to come back here in Romania. There were some references to Shambhala made by René Guénon, Mircea Eliade. Mircea Eliade lived in the United States, but he is considered the greatest historians of religion and spirituality.
Wow.
Mircea Eliade. And he spoke about Shambhala. And there are portals which goes not only from Romania, from United States too, and some other countries. They go to Shambhala, and they can manifest an emissary when is needed.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, this is very important to know, and we can call them with our spiritual power.
Hmm.
They have a diagram, a yantra is called, and when we focus on this yantra, some people gain this psychic ability to enter through a portal
Mm.
with the consciousness,
Wow.
and they enter in this realm of Shambhala. They are actually the leaders of the planet Earth.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow. Wow. I mean, there's
and
so
they
much.
are
Go
they
ahead.
are connected with God. I mean, God does not let any planet for accidents. Not only our brothers from stars, from very beneficial advanced civilizations, but there are some of them here, and they have projections in the inner Earth.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, you guys send your questions. I mean, this is so incredible. We can sit here for hours, discuss all these amazing things, which I would love to have you back, Marvin, so we can go even deeper in this particular subject. Because also I have you answer certain questions for me that I'm still looking at because of my experiences. Like that gentleman that showed up at Castle Hunadwara out of thin air
yes,
with that key and that seal, which I have proof of. Like where, who, and where did it disappear? The fact that I was taken when I was in nursery in Romania to the Black Sea because the government paid for the nursery. The fact when the Secret Service came looking for me as a 7-year-old little girl when I was almost kidnapped by a man in black. And so there's so many things as you're talking that my brain is kind of connecting. And I'm sure for the audience, I'm sure you guys, for those of you that are starting to remember your memories, I believe very much that these are helping you or triggering certain memories that are in your subconscious that need to come up right now to your conscience. So I would love to have you back so we can discuss more of the spirituality of that,
sure, Corina.
especially when you're talking about through a diagram, you can enter a portal because I was given a very
Yes,
specific diagram. I mean, I was given it. It was in a medallion and then on top of a book, and it literally shifts. And when it shifts, it creates another diagram and it opens up another portal. Or so it's so we will have you back because I want to pick your brain to discuss this.
sure. It's a pleasure for me. Yes,
I would love to. So now let's switch, Marvin, to the political atmosphere. Now that we realize, or our viewers are realizing more of the importance of Romania, the Romania as her history, and the beautiful presentation you've given, and why obviously the dark forces, the elite, would want to grab a hold of Romania and keep her in a choke of some just servitude to their plan, and how this amazing light worker, Mr. Călin Georgescu, play in all of this, and what is happening? What is happening now?
so after Donald Trump came to his second mandate of presidency, started to develop very accelerated things because Donald Trump, for instance, gave his executive orders, and one of these order was related with USA ID. And those many laundering through Ukraine and through Soros organizations that were fed with these monies. And in Romania, we have a lot of journalists and universities and schools and foundations, societies, open societies that are working with this money, Soros money. And they were undermined the Romanian society. And without these monies and with the dossiers, with the investigations that are going to be made from Oh, what a surprise! We have Bruno here.
My angels,
Oh
how
my
are
God.
you?
Hello, hello, dear friend. I was talking about the executive orders made by Donald Trump regarding U.S. aid, and
Mhm.
he blocked the financing of some Soros organizations here in Romania, journalists like Snoop that called you and called me,
Huh?
that so-called journalist. You know, Bruno, you remember?
But you know what's happening today? From
No.
the police investigator, the persecutor asked me to come again. So the judge say no more restriction for Bruno, and now they call me again to the persecutor to again make another investigation on me, which they have no evidence that I'm guilty, just to harass me.
Yeah, it's well, and Marvin address the issue like you were saying because
Yes.
you're rattling their cages. That's what their cages are being rattled. So go ahead. Since Trump did
They're
it,
hurting us. Everybody who is connected with Călin Georgescu becomes a target because they want to prove that Călin Georgescu is in bad connections with the Russians, with legionnaires, with extremists, with kind of names, very strange names, in order to compromise his
yeah,
image. But they will not succeed because Călin Georgescu is already loved by more than 85% of the people in Romania. And when they struggle more and more to destroy his image, the effect is reversed. I
yep.
mean, people
Exactly.
understand that the system hate Călin Georgescu because the system is evil. So let's vote Călin Georgescu. Everybody is thinking like this.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
their effort is without power, powerless.
So
They
are
have no chance.
so Marvin, what's going on right now? What are you guys seeing right now? Because the last time we did an interview with you, Bruno, what happened was is that they were trying to arrest Mr. Călin Georgescu. Of course, that was stopped. What is happening is the ex-president
Yeah.
he left his office. Okay, so what is now happening? Is Mr. Călin Georgescu? Is there going to have to be another voting process? Is that what's happening? What's happening right now?
So, Corina, please tell who prefer to answer.
You go ahead,
I don't
Marvin.
want to.
Marvin, go ahead. Yes, sorry, Marvin, go ahead, and then we'll go to Bruno.
Okay, so yesterday it was a statement made by the president of Constitutional Court, this organism of the state that actually cancelled, annulled the elections. Everybody in Romania hates this constitutional court,
Yeah,
because
joke.
we all know that they are traitors, they are instruments of the globalists. They receive orders from deep state in United States and from European Union and Soros in Europe. So this president of constitutional court made a statement saying that we are not going to make the second round of elections again, how everybody uh, call. We are going to make a new electoral process from the beginning, from zero. And of course, it is a huge spreading of
Waste.
money, because
Yeah,
the previous electoral process cost Romania 300 thousands of dollars or euro, um, 300 milioane, 300 millions,
million.
300 millions
Yeah,
of dollars. So a
dollars.
lot of money. And they just give up with this money. They don't care. And on the other hand, they say to Romanian people, we don't have money for salaries, for
Yeah,
pension, for
yeah,
old men, um, because Ukraine, because Putin is guilty and stuff like this. But they have money to cancel elections, to do another term. And of course, they are able to cancel again. the elections if Călin Georgescu is going to win again. So these people are thieves, are bastards, are they will never understand to respect the truth, the justice, and the will of power of people,
People.
and that's why they need to be forced to give up. And Iohannis, the ex-president,
Yes. Yes.
even if he remained in office for another, I don't know, 1 month, I think, or more, 2 months, almost 1 month. He resigned because he was afraid that he is going to lose all his privileges, like houses and liberty and the image and everything, and he's going to be put in jail. And he preferred uh, to pretend that okay, if you don't want me, I accept. I'm going to leave. But it wasn't this. It wasn't an act of consciousness. It was
Yes.
an act of frightness.
Yeah.
And he left. And well, we expect more reactions from the Trump administration because they said we are going to investigate what happened in Romania. I told you, Donald Trump,
Yep.
Richard Grenell, Elon Musk, G.D. Vance, all of
Look,
them.
they was now with Simeon. It is in the television. You see.
Yes, yes,
So George
we see.
Simeon from the our party,
Yeah,
he met with Richard Gere and he met with all top trusted people from Trump administration. And we just know that Kash Patel is the new chief of the FBI. So it's gonna start investigation ASAP from the money who was stolen from the taxpayer of the United States citizens, and $500 billion was delivered to Romania. And I think gonna big names they're gonna get down. So these lunatics, they want to harm and destroy everything, try to make war wherever they want, but they don't want to give up. That's the problem. And this now they put pressure on everybody, you know. And I told the police officers today, you have better criminals to investigate. Why you pursue me? You know, you have no evidence, not even proofs that the journalists have even make a threat statement that I to let to the police station, because he don't have it. He manufacture, and the persecutor, he make like a private case with me.
Well, because they're going after all of the supporters of Călin Georgescu, which is, it's happened in the U.S. as well, especially when the first election round was for Donald Trump. Now, my question is, so that people can understand. So right now, everything's on hold, but we know that Mr. Călin Georgescu has over 80% or so of the favor of the Romanian people. So there is no president in office in Romania. Am I understanding that correctly?
no. There is an interim president
Okay, so there
who
is.
is the president of the Senate.
Okay.
But he
Another
was
crook.
not elected. I mean, he's
Yeah.
just a part of the mafia. And I can give you an example. When he was the mayor of a city in Romania, Oradea, he gave the order to take down the statues of very important rulers of Romania, kings of Romania,
Wow.
like Mihai Viteazu
Yeah, great.
and others. And it was about 30 statues. And he put instead the statues of the enemies of Romania from another empires which we fought with. And he's a traitor. He's a member of this mafia, globalist mafia, and everybody hates him. And he made a lot of bad things. He was only a chauffeur of
Driver.
yes, of a trucker, and he stole all the truck from a foreign company with the marfa
Oh,
inside,
the supply.
with
Yeah.
the objects inside.
Yes. Yes.
So he is a thief of the bad type ever, and now he became a interim president of Romania. So everybody we can laugh, like Zelensky in Ukraine. he was a very bad actor.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how he was dancing and what he
Yes.
was doing. And now he spent 30, 350 billion dollars from
Mhm.
United States. And when Donald Trump asked him, "What have you done with the money?" he cannot answer.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump just said today or yesterday that we all know that Ukraine was a scheme of laundering money. And
Of course. Of course.
it is going to be with arrests because you cannot let the things like this. And Romanian part was very deep involved in all this thievery.
And Corina, what I would like to mention a very important statement that is very important for everyone worldwide to know, to understand. Once these so-called elites, the fake elites,
Hmm.
they put in place this kind of lousy people with such a bad character, like thieves, crooks, uh, you know, idiots, stupid, no education. That show how weak they are.
Yeah.
They have no power. They only use paper money to pay in cash to all of them, and based on how easy they can blackmail them
Yeah.
and how stupid and obedient they are and greedy, they give them a lot of money and a lot of benefits only to rule over the rest
Yep.
and use the actual system and the police officers and gendarmes and army, and the most of the employee of these institutions, they have no idea that these crooks are on the top to run the things. So this is how show the how they weak they are, because if they was smart, they would put smart people
Yeah. Of
to
course.
lead, but
Of
they put
course.
the most idiot and corrupt ones, which
Yeah.
you know what, you can see it from the moon.
Yeah.
Yes, because they wanted to control this guy. They need obedient
Yeah. Sure.
servants. And I want to tell you something. On long term, we can observe something very very clear and very important. That there are like some tectonic plates that are moving,
Mm.
and these are huge. And we can see, for instance, BRICS. The BRICS countries are emerging, and they cannot be defeated.
Hmm.
Russia, China,
Hmm.
India, and many others,
Yeah.
and all the global south, they are sick about globalists. They don't want to use dollar because they know the dollar has no back in real assets.
I think. Yeah. Mm.
And United States is now a sovereign country. You are fighting in the United States with the thieves, with the deep state, but you are winning, and everybody, all the world,
Hmm.
are seeing this. We are going to have elections in Europe, in Germany, this Sunday.
Oh.
And the AfD, Alternative for Deutschland, is a very conservative and nationalist party. And it is a big chance that they will win. And this will bring European Union down. Ursula von der Leyen and some other so-called leaders um, are going to be hanged.
Hmm.
It's a metaphoric
Yes.
expression, but
Yes.
express the will of people, because we all are sick of them. We don't want to see them anymore.
Yeah.
They made so much harm to Europe. To engage in this madness with Ukraine, to send monies and arms and people there to die, and they destroy the nation of Ukraine that were brothers with
Hmm.
Russians.
Hmm.
Why?
Yes.
Because it's useful to remember why this war started. Because in 2014, they started to kill people in eastern Ukraine that were actually Russian ethnics, that they did not want to vote to join European Union and NATO, because in 2008 it was a summit in Bucharest, and they decided to take Ukraine and Georgia in NATO, and they made a coup d'état in
Hmm.
2014 in Ukraine, and they took over the president democratically elected in Ukraine, and they put a puppet of CIA,
Yep.
and they even admitted there are phone call recordings that are showing how Victoria Nuland and some others that were talking who are going to put on
Yes.
this service and on this service. Okay, on government. And because of this opposition of people in eastern Ukraine that were actually Russian ethnics
Hmm.
to join NATO, they started to kill them. And they killed more than 14,000 people, children, women,
Yeah.
older,
Yeah.
elder. And the Russian Federation addressed to UN, and they made agreement, Minsk agreement, in 2014 and 2015. But the Ukrainian part, supported by Germany and France,
Yeah. Yeah.
they said we signed this agreement, but we had no intention to respect it.
Yeah.
They admitted this.
Of course.
They recognized. And you see how malefic people
Yeah.
to sign an agreement, international agreement, but to pretend that yeah, but we did not have any intention to respect what we spoke, what we signed, and that's why Russian Federation was involved to defend uh, his own people
Of
in
course. Of
Ukraine.
course. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like your brother. When your brother is attacked, your children,
Of course.
your parents, you go to defend them, and you made an international agreement. But they don't mention if you follow a discussion, a debate here in Romania regarding the war in Ukraine, they are pretending that Russian
Of
Federation
course.
attacked Ukraine
Yeah.
without any reason
Yeah.
because Putin is mad. It's a dictator, and he wants to conquer all the Europe.
Yeah. For our beautiful viewers, I want to let you know to watch a very powerful documentary, and it's made by, oh my gosh, Karen, his name went out of my head. And it's called Ukraine on Fire. Watch it, watch it, watch it. I watched it. I got to be interviewed by one of the producers of it. Oh my gosh, who is that famous producer? Oliver Stone. Okay, so Oliver Stone, hello, a big no name, did a lot of research. And when I was interviewed by another producer that worked with Oliver Stone on this documentary, I did not know anything about the history of Ukraine. So, and Russia, and really who is at power in Ukraine. By the way, the Khazarians, the head of the Khazarians rule from Ukraine, from Kiev, by the way. So I encourage all of you guys that want to know more about the truth of Ukraine and its leaders at the top. I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about the leaders. Please go and watch Ukraine on Fire. Ukraine on Fire. It will open up your mind. It will open up your eyes. You will realize really what's going on and who really is at power and what is really happening in the world, especially in Europe, especially right now in Eastern Europe because of Romania. Now, what is,
Corina,
yes,
sorry, I would like to add very shortly something. I
yes,
spoke this evening with a friend of mine in Germany, and he told me that Romania is now the leadership of the sovereignist movement in Europe. Because even if they are going to have this Sunday elections, the sovereignist part of the people in Germany are only 40%, but in Romania is more than 60%. It's
oh
even
wow,
more. It's maybe 80%. So even here in Romania, we were the with the most biggest pressure ever in
yeah,
Europe.
yeah,
We became the leaders and the power of the people, and we are supported by Donald Trump.
yes,
The power is so big that any obstacle can resist.
yes,
We are going to win,
yes,
and we are going to be a sovereign country. And it's like in a domino game, when a piece is falling, all the other pieces are falling also,
yes,
and Romania will become a sovereign country,
yes.
and we are going to make a lot of transformation in Romania, and maybe we are going to help some others.
Yes, I believe that. So, before we end, I want to ask you what, since everything is up in the air right now, what is Mr. Călin Georgescu saying? What is he? What is the atmosphere now? Because, like you said, they have to start all over a whole new election, or that's what they're wanting. So what is Mr. Călin Georgescu? What is the what? Where does he stand? What is he saying to the people? Bruno, let's start with you and then jump to Marvin.
Well, for me, it's very simple. Uh, my perspective of leadership, it should be very simple. And uh, in my vision, the whole world needs to have patriot leaders. And I'm happy that Donald Trump is in charge as the pinnacle of the new leader of the world, and should follow everything in all the countries, which already start, like Hungary, like Venezuela, like many different countries worldwide. Uh, Good patriots leader, they stand for the people, and we the people of Romania will fight for Călin Georgescu. Now they're gonna be 1 million people in the country, but they need small leaders, like Simeon, like others, to coordinate the people, to coordinate logistic. Because if you go out on the street, they use all the techniques and psychotronics and black magic and frequency for the 5G and antennas, and they don't care the people out there. So now Călin Georgescu make a very beautiful approach, which was a great idea. I sell it, you know, to erase signature on paper. And but with a signature on paper, it's not quite enough. He needs to address a documentation of betrayal to all government departments, like military, like police, like gendarmerie, like
Mhm.
Supreme Court, with an act of treason, and name the people who do, and saying that we, the people, we fire you. And then you put 1 million signature, and by the constitution, they are obliged to leave the place and be arrested by the military. That's the
Mhm.
only solution, in my opinion. If people go outside, scream, blah, 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 and no leader do these kind of acts officially and legally, they don't care.
Mhm.
They even have a bullet on the guns ready to shoot the people.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Marvin, what is your thought? What do you feel? What is Mr. Călin Georgescu telling the people of Romania?
So, yes, I can tell you something very important because it's too much, too less to say that Călin Georgescu is just a patriot and he wants sovereignty. So I'm going to mention few points of his agenda in order to make you understand what is exactly his plan.
Mhm.
So first of all, he says, I don't collaborate with the corrupt political class,
Yeah.
with any party. I mean, um, each party in Romania, even the so-called opposition party, nationalist party, are not 100% honest.
Sure.
And he says that my party is the Romanian people, all the Romanian people. And then he says we don't have to borrow money from the globalist organization because this was the agenda of the party of the all the governments of Romania in the last 35 years. They destroyed everything what Ceausescu left,
Mhm.
and they started to borrow money in order to pay the salaries and for elders. But I mean, the political class, they destroyed everything what was capacity of Romania to produce something with industry, with agriculture.
Mhm.
We now take everything from others, from foreigners.
Mhm.
So Călin Georgescu says we need to start again to produce, to use our
Yes.
natural resources. And it's like a joke. I can tell you what it's on our news. When he said this, that we need to produce ourselves and to use our resources, to not borrow anymore, the TV producers of mainstream media started to shout, "How is it possible? Călin Georgescu is mad. We cannot live if we don't borrow money because we live only from money from others. We don't have money anymore." So it's madness. Romania is such a rich country, and they ignore our possibilities to produce some. Why? Because the globalists want to use Romania like a market to sell products, not to be a rival. So also, Călin Georgescu said we need to have in Romania 80% minimum Romanian banks, because now in Romania we have almost entirely only foreigner banks. And of course, they are doing all kind of business,
Of course.
and they cheat Romanian people. And the same with multinational companies.
Hmm.
They are coming here, they export their profit in fiscal paradises, and they pretend to Romanian authorities. Of course, the Romanian
Hmm.
authorities are complicit, and they know the truth. But they pretend that we have no profit, zero profit, and that's it. We remain here in Romania, but we don't obtain any money, so we don't pay any taxes to Romanian government. And all the country is full with multinational companies. Even when you want to go to buy food, you only find the multinational company. When you enter in a Romanian market, in the corner of the street, you find only products from abroad, nothing from Romania. And when you want to buy a Romanian apple, they say, we don't have. And the Romanian peasants,
Yeah.
they stay with the apples and every products, and they root because nobody, no shops, no
Yeah.
company, they
Apples are.
don't buy Romanian products.
Yeah.
You see, so they destroy Romanian capacity of production in all the domains.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
we have foreign military bases. They
Mm.
are actually army for occupation, and
Yeah.
we are very pleased that Donald Trump said he will reduce the involvement of the United States military because the deep state wanted to use Romania as a pivotal base in
Yeah.
order to attack Russia. You know, they wanted deep state to build here in Romania the biggest military base in Europe, in Mihail Hogănceanu. So
Not
the
happening.
plans were to attract Romania in a war exactly how they did with Ukraine, to destroy Romania and other countries also.
Yeah.
So Călin Georgescu also want to cancel the fraudulent privatization because not only for these years, but for everything what happened in the last 35 years. Because when you go to investigate, you find a lot of uh, thief that
Yes.
they destroy the Romanian economy. And in short terms, Călin Georgescu program is called Hrană, Apă, Energie. So
Food,
um,
water, and
And
energy.
energy.
food, water. But you know, this word food is not exactly proper because food could be altered when you go to a supermarket and you buy
Right.
food with additives or
Right.
genetically modified.
Yes.
This is not food. This is
Yes.
toxins.
Yes. Yes.
So he understand when we say food as a bio product
Yes.
that is healthy.
Yes.
So, in
Yes.
short, this is his plan. And I told you before, he considers that the head of the snake is the financial banking
Yeah.
system. Because, for instance, in Romania, we have a governor of the national, so-called national bank, Muguri Sărescu, and this guy is in charge of national bank for 35 years. He is the most longevous leader
Wow.
of a national bank in the world. And why is this? Because he's member of Trilateral Commission and Bilderberg Group,
Yeah.
and
Sure.
this international elite need him to control Romania with his money. And you know what national banks like
Yeah.
Federal Reserve in United States,
Yes. Yes.
they are borrowing monies without any value,
Yep.
and they took real assets.
Yeah.
So yeah, they give me a sheet of paper, and I give them my house.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes. Very corrupt.
this is how they act. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, let me ask a hypothetical question and then we're going to head towards the ending. Wow, we've been on here for 2 hours. This is incredible. Hypothetical question for both of you. So, Bruno, we'll start with you first. So, do you think that once Călin Georgescu gets in office, that he is going to allow the truth of what has been discovered regarding the history of part of the history of humanity, will he allow that to be seen for humanity? Because from what I remember is when the Romanian government realized what they had, they did want to bring that revelation out to humanity, and there was fights that, and they were not allowed. So again, my question: if Mr. Călin Georgescu, when, sorry, scratch that word out, when Mr. Călin Georgescu steps in office, will he? Do you think he will allow that this history, the mysteries for humanity that are found in Romania, to come out, to be revealed?
First of all, I would love to tell everybody that there was a huge prediction like long time ago by Sundar Singh, an Indian,
Mm-hmm.
that speak about the leader of Romania, which will come at the end of the time,
Mm-hmm.
and he will lead Romania, and also will raise a sparkle of light
Yes.
to the whole human species, which is already happened. So, in my opinion, in my heart, I know this guy. It is the guy who was predicted by Sundar Singh,
Yes.
because in such a short time he win the hearts of 85% of the Romanian people, and he's willing to do exactly the right thing, just like Donald Trump, once he have the power to do it, because he's wise, he's smart, he's diplomatic, he have knowledge, he have wisdom, and he have ready a team of light workers
Mm-hmm.
that he believes
Yep.
that with the right team of people he can do everything. And 100% he's a huge patriot. He loves his nation, he loves the people, and he wants to dedicate the truth to the world, because he know the roots of our Romanian ancestor, and he know the truth of our hidden history.
Yes.
He cannot even talk so much, because people already portray him like a crazy, like a lunatic. Only when he talk about the water and the memory,
Yeah.
things that we do every day and we know, people they think he's crazy.
Yeah.
So 100%, you know what, he must to do it. And you know what, he will form a team of wise counsel,
Mm-hmm.
that because this is the future of humanity. Leaders need to lead the people through
Yes.
the wise counsel, not ministers, prime ministers and presidents and all these names puppets that don't do nothing for so many years.
Yes.
So a small group of wise people, they have to lead the countries. Light workers need to lead the countries. And
Yes.
yes, I'm
Absolutely.
100% sure he will do it, and he will negotiate everything, including taking the Jetodation Bible from the Vatican. He will have the full rights to do it. And just I want to mention something before Marvin say a lot of beautiful things. Yes, food, water, and energy. I add and I
Mhm.
give a turnkey proposal for Romania, as a statement that we need education, we need nutrition, and we need health.
Mhm.
So all this we're gonna add
Mhm.
together. And because Romania it's a Christian country and a spiritual country, we will add to our DNA the spirituality, which will lead the whole world from here.
Let me parentheses what you said because I want to make sure that the viewers understand this. As Bruno was saying, Romania is a Christian nation, but unfortunately, the Christian religion, the dogma has been, as I always have said it for many, and I've said it on this program, has been based on so much control, fear, and manipulation. It's based on rules instead of relationship. So what we are seeing for Romania is that the spirituality will not be based on religion, which is based on fear, control, and manipulation, is and will be based on relationship with yourself first, knowing who you are, going deep within, realizing the beautiful, powerful being that you are made in the image of divine creators. You are a fractal, you are a mirror reflection of that. So relationship with you, and then relationship here goes here and then here. So that's the difference. That is the difference. So wow, thank you for that, Bruno. Marvin, hypothetical question to you.
Yes. Mm. So I think it's relevant to mention what Călin Georgescu just said 2 days ago. He said from the first minute when he is going to be present, and he is sure in all scenario he's going to be present.
Yep.
And we like very much this kind of to be sure.
Yes.
I mean, he's not hesitant at all. He trusts 100% in the power of God.
Yep.
And in this process of awakening that is happening, he is convinced the Romanian people is awakening and all the mankind. So he said in the first minute when he entered to presidency, he is going to vanish the Soros network. He is going to destroy it, to arrest everybody. He was very peaceful in the beginning. He said, look, I give you the chance to surrender, to admit that you mistake. But a few days ago, he said, this period ended. You did not want to listen. You continue to cheat people, to steal. So we need to change the approach.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what, and Elon Musk um, took his commentary, his statement of Călin Georgescu, and he shared it. And he added a comment that Romania deserved to be sovereign. So you see,
Yeah.
we are very much supported by Trump administration.
Yes.
And also regarding with this desecretization that you are talking, look, Călin Georgescu has this kind of profile. He spoke about the history of our ancestors that is kept secret, that is not admitted, the real version of history.
Yeah.
Exactly what we talk in this
Wow.
TV show.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke about the Latin language comes from the Proto-Romanian, the language of our ancestors. It's not reverse. I mean, how we learn in school nowadays that we forgot, we Dacians, Thracians, we forgot our language and we started to speak Latin
Latin. Yeah.
because the Romans conquered only 10% of our territory. This is absurd.
Yeah.
And also, Călin Georgescu spoke that, for instance, in Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, there are nano chips, and some stupid
Wow.
guys laughed on him. But this is scientific proofs that it's exactly this is the situation. He spoke about monoatomic gold that is in our secret laboratories
Yes.
in caves in our mountains. He said that the water is much more than H2O,
Mm-hmm.
that the water has memory and very
Wow.
amazing properties and energy. But stupid people, they consider that he is a lunatic.
Yeah.
He is mad. They are not used with this kind of
Yeah.
formulas.
Wow.
And
Wow.
he speaks about the world is shaped by our thoughts. This
Wow.
is a
Wow.
fundamental reality that people generally are not aware because the Illuminati mafia take care to project only the materialistic perspective paradigma. And Călin Georgescu is very modern progressist in this formula, and I'm sure he will reveal everything. the one of the most important things that he's saying is that we are participating in a global awakening in Romania and worldwide. So, with this kind of leader, we are sure that Romania will enter on the good path.
Yes. You know, I want to say before I give you both one last word to tell our viewers, I do want to say, and I'm very adamant about this, this is the new or the original timeline. And as Elena has written in her book, she was shown the golden age. And the date that she was given, I think in 20, Elena, I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong, 2020, when she wrote one of the books, I think it's in the Cedars, or 2021. Regardless, it was a while back. She was shown and told that the golden age was going to start at the end, and I believe even maybe she even said October of 2024, at the end of 2024. You guys, I did not know that, but when we went to Bucegi with these two gentlemen, these dear friends, and the new timeline, the original timeline was established. It was the original timeline that they twisted, they manipulated it, they tried to destroy it. They could not destroy it, the evil ones, so they twisted it, okay? But it was churned. The original timeline was brought back, and it is that of the golden age. The golden age, and I'm telling you, this is what I feel, and I know in every fiber of my being, that Mr. Călin Georgescu is part of that as the leader of the Romanian people. So I am so excited and so thrilled that this man is stepping into his rightful position. Just like Mr. Trump, he was chosen to be. And the reason Mr. Trump was not able to be elected last 4 years is not because these idiots were able to steal it. We stole it. No, it was allowed because the golden age and the original timeline was supposed to be established 2024, and Mr. Trump needed to be the leader of this nation in 2024, just like Mr. Călin Georgescu needs to be the head of Romania in this new golden, new original timeline. And I'm telling you, that is going to happen. It doesn't matter. I don't give a crap who does what and how much they try. They are going to fail. As they've been failing, they are going to continue to fail. Oh, I'm getting fired up.
Yeah, Corina, you know what? I envision everything what's happening since, remember last year, we changed the timelines in April.
Yep.
Then we activate the money, the money codes in August on the Lion Gates, and in October we were there in the Bucegi, like John the Baptist, to bring Jesus on the river. So after we did the rituals and the everything enhancement where we have done there the rituals, and Elena have done an Atlantean ritual, then Călin Georgescu appeared out of the blue.
Absolutely.
So we was there to open the door for the new timelines.
Yeah.
And you know what I received from the divine, and I would love that everybody know that Călin Georgescu on the 6th of December 2024, when he was San Nicolas, he received a gift of a huge amount of money allocation for Romanian people, which I was personally negotiated for my people and for my country. So he have everything to succeed, and he have the right people around him to make it happen.
Yeah, and what I want to encourage you guys before, again, I give it to these incredible gentlemen to say their last final words. You watching, I want you to remember that there is power in you. You can engage what you're being shown to bring about the transformation that you know is needed. It starts with you personally, you, me, myself, and I. And then it starts with your loved ones. It starts with your town. It starts with your city. It goes with your state, your nation, and then all of humanity. Listen, it is not about a person being special, that they can do something and you can't. No, we all have the same abilities in us. Now, they may look different but we still have the power of create. We have creative power in us. Do you understand? You have the power to create. So whatever you put your mind to, if it's connected to love, joy, peace, the awakening of humanity, you are going to create that. So I want you, as you're watching this, I don't want you to feel like, oh, well, what can I do? You can do the same and greater. All you have to do is go within, remember who you are, and activate that creative power that's within you. Activate, no matter what the circumstances around you look like, they do not dictate your reality. Let me say that again. The circumstances around you do not dictate your reality. You know who dictates your reality? You. The Christ in you is the one that can create the reality that you know that you should be living in. So I personally want to leave you with this. And now I'm going to give it back to, let's say, Bruno, you start. Last words, message you have for the viewers, and then Marvin, I'll give it to you.
My The most beautiful message I have for the viewers, for the worldwide viewers, it's this: each one, each night before they go to sleep, take a full glass with water like that, attach to your heart, and just put the light from your soul to spread the whole world into the Christ consciousness in each human being, in each living being on this planet. Cherish the heart of Mother Earth and connect with the soul of the Sun. Do this as a practice and then see the results, because you become the God into your body and you just give the world a new chance. This is my desire to share to the people. Make this every day and share the gratitude, because we are in a golden age and we need to be united as a one species on a one beautiful planet.
Yes, very nice. Thank you, Bruno. Marvin, to you.
So I think, Corina, that this show, and I want to thank you for everything you will do, not only in this show, but in all your activity. This show is an expression of the great awakening that is happening worldwide. Because you see, we join together from different countries and we have the same thoughts, the same feelings. And I'm sure there are thousands like us,
Yes.
even more, hundreds of thousands. And we are all thinking the same. And we know now that in essence, we as human beings are not flesh and bones, are not just energy. We are consciousness.
Yes.
The consciousness is the basic structural of the universe, of the creation. And we are connected through consciousness with God, with light, and all together. And now the frequency rise, and we all feel more and more this power, this courage, this love, this compassion. And this is an expression of what is happening. And of course, with this kind of TV shows, everybody resonates, and these feelings are growing up in their souls, in their hearts, like Bruno said. And we transmit this feeling, this field of consciousness, and this field take everybody who is on the resonance and amplifies, and we are going to cover all the planet, and all the planet will become more full with peace and love and truth.
Yes.
And this is a process that is amplifying like an avalanche.
Yes.
And we can see now that day after day, more and more important news are going to happen, and the wars are going to end.
Yes, they
And
are.
yes, it is going to be much more revelations regarding the upper technology, advanced technology that exists worldwide in secret facilities, like med beds,
Yes.
like Bruno wants to make a city of light.
Yeah.
Everything is possible, and we are going to do it very fast we only have to give up to Saskapon. So get rid
Get
of
rid of.
this malefic elite, how they
Yeah.
consider. And regarding Romania, I can tell you that I made 6 interviews with Călin Georgescu, and he's indeed an extraordinary person. But I can tell you what is happening in Romania is not only this apparition of Călin Georgescu. It is a process of awakening of the people.
Yeah.
Because without the people, Călin
Yeah.
Georgescu could not do anything.
No.
We
Right.
support him. We put him in charge, and he's going to succeed with us and with God. As he many times said, we are going to succeed together and all together with God.
Yeah.
So this is my conclusion. And thank you very much, Corinne.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Marvin, for coming on. It was amazing sharing your wisdom. Thank you, Bruno. Thank you, guys. Thank you, all of you, for watching from different parts of the world. Please continue to share this if it's blessed you, if it's opened up your eyes. If you want to join with us in your heart, releasing light, and share this, share it, like it, and share it. And until next time, remember who you are and tap into the fullness of your identity. Love you guys. Until next time.
Bless you.